Hello everyone, Ember here, and welcome back to New Deck Profile. In this one, I'd like to take a look at an Okidogi deck. So, Okidogi is a bit of a surprise menace in Standard. It's a pretty solid card, to be honest, and I'm only now just getting around to covering it, even though I'm supposed to be like a rogue budget channel, I guess. But yeah, I'm only now just getting around to covering this, and I did find a list that I've like slightly modified over from Japan. So yeah, this Okidogi has 130 HP. It is a fighting type, and it has one attack, good punch, which yeah, it's fair enough. It's a good punch. For 2 fighting energy, does 70 damage, which is a bit meh. However, the ability Adrena Power or Adrena Power says if this Pokemon has any dark energy attached to it, it gets plus 100 HP, and the attacks it uses do 100 more damage. So yeah, really solid. So if we can get 2 fighting and a dark, or a luminous a fighting and a dark, then we will be able to do 170 damage, and Okidogi will have 230 HP, which is, of course, really, really solid for a single prize Pokemon. And we also have access to some other Pokemon just to make this deck run a bit smoother. We have Fan Rotom with the, the ability is really good, but we're not playing any other colorless Pokemon. So, the ability pretty useless in this deck, but it's still a very strong ability if you wanted to play like a Noctowl engine with the Ogerpon. But yeah, Assault Landing does 70 for 1 colorless, and if there's no stave in play, this attack does nothing. But, 70 for 1 energy is very efficient and just allows us to get rid of stuff like Charmander, basically, in the early game. So yeah, that's nice. Also got a very strong attacker in the form of Bloodmoon. So this list isn't actually playing Radiant Zard, it's playing Radiant Greninja for some extra draw power. So having another attacker in the late game to do 240 is really nice. Just means you can just have a big blowout move, especially against, like Boss Luminion is one of my favorite things to do with this. So, just like Boss Pheasantipity or something like that for easy 2 prizes. So, easy prizes is what this deck wants, really, because, you take so many energy just to attack. So having the option to just take a big KO in the late game is really helpful. Also got a Cleffa in here for some extra draw power. Also free retreat, which is nice. Probably swap this out for Budew when we get it. And we've got a Cornerstone Ogerpon EX in here, which has the ability Cornerstone Stance, which says, I know it's kind of hard to read on the full art, but yeah, prevent all damage from attacks done to this Pokemon by your opponent's Pokemon have an ability. Very cool. And then Demolish does 140, and it isn't affected by weakness and resistance. Kind of sucks you don't get to hit anything for weakness, to be honest, but still a very solid move for fighting double colors. So if your opponent doesn't have many answers to this, or they don't have a canceling clone in their deck, maybe, then being able to hit them with an Ogerpon is pretty devastating. So yeah, pretty cool card overall. And then, Radiant Greninja for some, simple draw power, really. I do miss Radiant Charizard in this deck, so I could probably see myself trying out a Radiant Charizard version in the future. But I'm actually going to start with energy for this one because it's a bit weird. We have 5 fighting energy, 2 dark energy because we still play the basic dark energy thanks to Crispin and EXP share. So basic dark energy makes sense. Our Ace Spec of choice is also going to be legacy energy for this particular list. There's several Ace Specs that are actually really good with Okidogi, but I would say legacy energy is probably your best bet. It just turns Okidogi into a 0 prize Pokemon instead of just a 1 prize Pokemon, which is, of course, very annoying for your opponent. And also can just become any type of energy, just like Luminous. So it's essentially like a 5th copy of Luminous Energy, which is nice. You will have to be careful because Luminous Energy specifies that it only provides colorless if there's any other special energy attached. So what you have to do is kind of go for like fighting dark luminous or luminous double fighting. Like that's kind of like the synergy that you want here. But yeah, legacy energy is still really good. Also got 39 trainers, so quite a few. We've got some switching carts because we're not actually playing any evolution Pokemon, so it just makes sense to run switching carts over normal switches. 2 XP share, probably post-rotation I'll up the counts of XP share just because it's such a good card in this deck, to be honest. It's kind of scary. 2 Earthen Vessel because you want some flexibility in what energy you grab. A single Crispin, so might, increase the amount of Crispins. 1 Hisuian Heavy Ball, not that important, to be honest. You could probably cut this card if you don't own it already and probably, pop in another Crispin. 4 Nest Ball because sadly nothing has low HP except for like Rotom. 2 Artazon, which is really good, just acts as multiple Nest Balls really throughout the game. Also got a TM Devolution. So what's quite funny with this deck is if you poke something for 170 and then de-evolve them, you can often just KO what's underneath. So one thing I've been able to do in the past is Fan Rotom into a Charizard and then TM Devolution them for a funny KO. So, you can do things like that just for some easy prizes. Night Stretcher is quite nice with Super Rod. One Counter Catcher, two Colress Tenacity. Honestly, not that sold on this supporter. Might remove it yet, but yeah. Search your deck for a Stadium and an Energy card, so you can find Special Energy, which is cool. And yeah, also got Turbo Energize. And I guess the last thing to talk about is, Energy Sticker. Flip a coin of heads, attach your basic energy. Can be quite useful, but, it's obviously a bit risky. So you might not need Energy Sticker in your version, but yeah, just something to bear in mind. But yeah, that's the deck list basically. So do let me know what you think down below. Will you be sticking around for gameplay? Will you be playing Okidogi? And yeah, thank you for watching. I might try an Assault Landing Cincino and then TM Devolution for the KO. Although they will be able to KO us with Special Roll, which is a bit annoying. Yep, that's fine. Get the other Okidogis, but that's pretty pointless. I will Artazon here. For a Cleffa. Also shuffles the deck doing this. So we sadly can't get Radiant Greninja. It's a bit of a rip. Just thinking what I want to do with this hand. I don't necessarily need to bench an Okidogi. I definitely swing into this, that's correct. If I had a boss, that would be really nice, actually. I will Luminous this. Will I Luminous this? No. I'll Legacy Energy this one. And then, we'll use Assault Landing. Okay, so would this prevent TM Devolution is the next question. I'm imagining so. Like, I guess it does, right? But I mean, Okidogi's pretty tanky anyway, so they're going to struggle to KO it. Or I hope they do at the very least. They might not, but we should be alright. Super Rod. I could Super Rod the Rotom back in. I don't need to, though, that's the problem. If I had a way to pay like the retreat cost, then it might be alright, but yeah, the hand is not doing a lot right now. We can't Luminous the other one, otherwise it doesn't work, so I guess we Okidogi. I suppose the correct play here was to use TM Devolution, but I mean, the thing is, if it doesn't work against Cincino, then, I'm just going to pray that they don't have the Revenge KO, which they probably do, to be honest, but we'll just see how this goes. I mean, they're not going to get a prize card for doing this. So at the very least, we're still trading pretty favorably. It's just our attackers are very expensive compared to their attackers. So we probably want to use Bloodmoon at some point. They feed us a minion, which is interesting. I'd imagine they have a Switch in hand already. It's been a fairly slow game for the pair of us, so 5 prizes, 30 cards remaining in deck. They flip heads, so that's another evolution Pokemon, I think. Yeah, so they get Cincino. So if they can discard their Archeops with Ultra Ball or whatever, they can Lugia Archeops onto the bench. But if they do that, we can remove Archeops for a KO. They go for their own boss, which is fine. They get Cleffa. Just wondering if I should just KO the minion in this situation, or go after another Cincino. I think it's correct to go after Cincino. I'm saying this like I have a choice, actually. I don't have boss in hand. I don't know why I said that, thinking I had boss. Actually, it's a good point, actually. I mean, I could have, if I had boss, I could have, like, Rotom them this turn. I could have shoved it back in, then found it again. But, yeah, I'll attach an energy here. Yes, I will do that. And then we'll just take the 2 prizes. Which is not what I want to do, really, but they might have back-to-back boss. They might not. I mean, we'll just have to find out, I guess. Them benching another Mincino is a bit rough. If I was them, I probably would have looked to a way to discard thingy. Also, why did they boss, like, Cleffa when Cleffa has free retreat? I'm not sure, actually. They should have bossed another Okidogi, but this is fine. I mean, we're still in a very good position now, like, especially now that we've done that. It could fall apart because we still have to take 3 KOs somewhere. I mean, this is a prize card. I guess that's our other prize card, but that's still a 2-shot. That's a missed energy, which is unfortunate. Again with the Artazon. Very strange. Very, very strange. Like, surely you would try and get an Archeops out at the very least. And that just gives you 2 energy per turn, but... Oh, man, where are the boss? We play plenty boss. Right, Hisuian Heavy Ball. What's in the prizes? Show me the prizes. Is it going to be 2 boss in here? It's not. Okay. We did prize a Dark Energy, actually. That's quite annoying. Man, I really want to research this hand away, but it's definitely not a good idea. Although we're not losing much, actually, for research. Right, definitely EXP share this while I remember. So I think we just have to try and win with 3 Okidogis. I really don't want to research this hand away. So we'll go punch. It's more so like we're losing Switch Cart and Super Rod, so... Right, we'll use God Punch. We'll get a prize. After Okidogi goes down, we really have to start going after thingy. So hopefully this isn't the Switch Cart. Okay, Artazon, that's fine. So my opponent has been focusing on Cincino, and we've been unable to punish it with boss's orders, sadly. Double Turbo is interesting because it reduces your damage, but I'm not sure if that means they're just going to one-shot us anyway this turn. They don't get a prize card for it, though, which is good. And we do get to keep an energy in play. Maybe it's just back-to-back KOs, that's how we win. Just KO this, then KO that. 190. Yep, not enough. Not enough, buddy. Okay, that's rough. Yeah, that is rough, actually. Nest Ball, doesn't matter. I mean, I could heal a bit of damage. Seems really pointless, though. I'm just going to hold the hand, actually. I could research, but the only thing we would need at this point is energy. And I think we've just won anyway, so... I think we have won at this point. Like, my opponent can't realistically recover at this point. Like, we just... Yeah, they've put too many liabilities on the board. The only way they could, like, realistically make a really strong comeback is if they bench something else and then actually use a collapsed stadium. and then basically remove their own single prize options. I think that's like the best thing they could do, but I don't know if they're playing Collapse Stadium or not. And that'll be the end of that.